Hey, welcome everyone. Greetings of peace. My name is Anthea Alexander. I am a wellness coach and I'm very delighted to be with you this evening. It's evening in Melbourne where I live at the moment. And with me, I have my co-host, Yogi Sanjivana. And this evening, we're going to continue our conversation, our open conversation in our Living Consciously in 2025 series. Our topic that we started last week discussing is living with a generous heart. And we decided partway, probably most of the way through the conversation last week, that there was enough material to continue on this week with a part two. So what we're planning to do is dive a little bit more deeply into the topic. So I really look forward to our conversation and a bit more about our Living Consciously in 2025 series. So this is an open space. It's a sacred and safe space to come to and to discuss basically anything you're wanting to discuss. We come up with the topics and the title of the series just to provide some material to think about and to discuss. However, you're welcome to approach either of us or to come along to the session and raise your own questions. And it really is an open conversation, an opportunity for us to discuss any sort of topic. So please feel free to do that. And I also welcome anyone who might be watching this video in the future as we certainly publish it on YouTube and share it across social media. So it's meant to be like almost a legacy that we're leaving here, creating and creating like a vibration throughout the world. So that's the purpose of our weekly conversations. In terms of living with a generous heart, this is a topic that is dear to my heart, and it's something that I've thought about a lot, and I have discussed with a couple of trusted people in my life. However, I think it's worth discussing in more depth, and certainly coming from the aspect of having some tools and tips and tricks and advice on how to take care of our hearts if we are someone who has a generous heart and really wants to help other people, Mother Nature, plants and animals. So I think that's probably enough to start with. So I'll pass it over to Sanji to introduce himself and tell you a bit more about his fascinating work he does. And then we can have a bit more discussions.
Anthea, please tell a little bit about yourself also, what you're up to these days, and what you're doing, and any special things that are happening. Please feel free to share.
So basically, I work as a wellness coach, and I generally do coaching one-to-one with people, and I basically help them to lose weight, gain weight, maintain weight. If they're looking for more energy or looking to sort of manage health conditions, I can certainly help with that. And I also wanted to share that I have started my own personal challenge, a weight loss challenge. So I've taken some before photos and a video to show what my body shape is at the moment, and I'll revisit that and take more photos in the future. So I'm taking a lot of care about what I'm eating and using some specific products, which are really beautiful multi-award winning products, which I can recommend to other people depending on their goals. So I'm actually doing what I coach other people to do. yeah, it's interesting being on the other side of that as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
what else I wanted to share is that I have a special interest in emotional well-being, and that's really where this interest and passion for these conversations comes from. And it's also where Sanji and I connected. Sanji, I won't say too much about what Sanji does, he can speak for himself, but I also meditation sessions on a Monday evening once a week, and I really love doing that. So you're welcome to reach out, and I can certainly share the link. Yep, free meditation sessions Monday evenings, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And I think that's pretty much what I'm up to these days. So I'll hand it over to you
Okay,
now.
okay. Thank you so much, Anthea. It's always a pleasure to be here. And the topics you select are so fine. So I'll just say in a summarized version, I'm Sanji of Sanjivana. I'm a meditation teacher, and we do like one-on-one sessions, group sessions, even if there are like even bigger organizations or something like that also. And then it's a more towards a holistic approach, like there's like life coaching involved, counseling involved, and even sober therapies. It goes all the way up to like suicidal prevention, so rebuilding lives, these kind of things. And most of the things that are uh, accumulated from that goes for charity work. We do a lot of charities here. So yeah, on a day regular basis, I meet many people and try to help many people. And yeah, this is one of the best persons I met. So it's a great pleasure to discuss these wonderful topics with Anthea, and hope everybody and even maybe like Anthea said, no, like maybe in some years, no, and and there are some nice people also gathering, no. So the ones who are in a rush, they will always not go and stay, but that is their journey, no. And then the people who like really want to do something to humanity and all, uh, they stick, no, like they stay together, no. And I think this is a time period, many people like when you talk to some people, they say this urgency, even some young people, maybe you saw like who joined the group recently, yesterday, I think. So these two young people, they also feel this. So it's good, and so more and more people are recognizing there's something missing here, and then maybe there's something that we have to find ourselves or like do, no, even the world also. How can we help it more? So yeah, so generosity will be a perfect topic. You want to uh, remove the veils that are covering, no, or the obstacles, and unveil it. They say, no, that for these kind of things also. So I hand it over to Anthea.
Okay, so thank you so much, Sandy, for sharing about what you do, your work, and I really admire the work that you do. I also really appreciate what you were saying about this sense of urgency to act, to take action.
Mhm.
And I I have sort of two ways of thinking about that. There's a part of me that's a little bit anxious
Mhm.
and think, "Oh, what's the world coming to? There's so many things that I just I'm 52 and I just feel like I go back to my perhaps when I was growing up in the 80s or 90s in my mind, and I think, well, things were so different then.
Mhm.
And we didn't have social media, we didn't really have mobile phones,
Mhm.
a lot more independence as children growing up. So basically, I would go to school, and then after school, when I was quite young, I would go and play with the neighbours' kids,
Mhm.
play usually something physical.
Mhm.
And we had a park at the back of our house. So when it was dinner time, like our mum would literally yell and say, "Okay, come back now." and then we come back, and it's really, really different now.
Mm.
So, although it's interesting getting older, because inside I don't feel like I'm that much older. My body is aging for sure, and I have more wisdom and experience
Mhm.
because I've lived longer, but I actually don't feel that much older inside. However, the world feels very, very different to me. And there are marvelous things about the way the world is now. And
Mhm.
certainly during the pandemic,
The-
uh, technology was amazing because it helped us to keep in touch with each other,
Mhm.
especially when we were locked down because of, there was so much fear and concern about spreading the COVID virus.
Mhm.
So it was amazing. And there was a lot of, I think, rapid growth in technology during that time. However, there are a lot of things that I think I just, it just feels like things are going really, really fast to me. That's how it feels to
Mhm.
me, which creates a little bit of anxiety. However, on the other hand, I also feel that there's an opportunity for us to step up as human beings and to support each other in ways that we have probably never had before. I
Mhm.
believe that we're all connected, and that even before social media, we had like our own sort of Wi-Fi network,
Mhm.
so that people in different countries, although they were not physically close together, that we're all connected and we would all sort of go through similar things together, and our own type of natural medicine, which is another thing I'm really
Mhm.
passionate about. So people wouldn't necessarily, well, there wasn't Western medicine. Western medicine's only
Mhm.
been around, a century or two. So people used herbs, uh,
Mhm.
used like meditation, of course, and massage and other types of therapies. And of course, there were healers and shamans and wise people and mentors and but there were other types of medicine that people tapped into. And I feel that there's almost a re-emergence of that, which is, I think,
Mhm.
really great.
Mhm.
So I have mixed feelings about that. So before we continue our conversation and talk more about generosity of heart, I'd love to hear your thoughts about how you feel about the world and how you perceive.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's going too fast, and it's going too fast. No, like if something is, because you, even the climates or seasons, people are interfering too much, and they want everything fast, quick and fast, right? Or quick and easy, sorry, fast and easy, like food or even animals. They want to grow them, no, even like poultry or like even the milk industry. Every it's industries, all right. And then even the fruit trees, they want you to have it quickly, and then they don't care about the seasons, no, like so even like any what do you see, like they want to like earn money, which is okay, but very fast, some quick method. They say quick method on internet also, right? The fast tracking way, no. Now they have all these courses also to do so, and then you have fast food, no, everything, and then 4G goes to 5G, like that. It may be another version later on, but where are we running to, right? Where are we going to? It's like there was like there was a picture of a person running, and then just it was just like a post, and why are you running so fast now? Would you like to end it soon? No. So the biggest place we can go in this life is the last moment of our life, right? So if there is a limitation, right? We have, no, we are not forever. So if we run like this, would we want to make it come fast to us? It's like you get a car and you are like driving above the speed limit, no? And they have told some speed limit near a school it's different, near a hospital it's different, on different highways it's different because for a particular reason, right? So likewise, and our energy in our body also, it's like a battery. So if you use it too much, it goes out. Okay, even if you keep it on a shelf, and if there was a way we could hibernate or incubate ourselves, it will be like the shelf life, with the packing and everything. It's kept on a shelf, but it also has an expiry date, right? The battery says expires in, no? This is without even using. But if you use it moderately, what happens? It goes quickly. Then so the recharging also, there's like few cycles, right? 1,000 cycles. Even if it's a rechargeable battery, this is some cycles. No, it's not forever. So food, water, these things are like the recharge cycles maybe, but still it has expired. And then think like a child takes this and plays like in daytime and everywhere, and just plays with these batteries. No, use it to some flashlight or something and just plays around with it. Lightsaber or something they call it, and then they start playing. No, and then the battery will wear off so soon. And this is actually like, though we sustain it, there's a life energy that has a limitation. So all these things like we are trying to manipulate. So even pets and everything, no. And even any technology people get in hands to, like they how to say, they weaponize it. Uh, so uh, uh, so any good thing can be turned into a wrong direction. uh, and like electricity or something, no, like some people use, or they used to use it as electric chairs, or they would like electrocute, no, like, or put electricity to catch some animals, or so likewise, but electricity can save people's lives or cook some food, maybe the ventilation, no, and give light and so many things, but still people use for very dangerous things. So this energy also, and if you start playing around with nature, we are also part of it. Then what happens? Then the seasons change. You see all these climatic changes. Even those people in past days, they knew exactly the seasons, and they didn't try to overgrow it. No, but later you get greedy, and maybe if there was like 2 seasons of cultivation, they'd start a third one. Or they want these plants to grow very fast, right? They modify it. But later now we have things like artificial fruits that doesn't have flavor or taste, or even a seed to get a new plant, even if you just want even one. There it doesn't grow anymore, right? So it's kind of like, and then this needs like a lot of chemicals and other things, even just to. But those days none of this was required. And in another very far version, there is a thing like the again how to say, uh, wholesome things are coming round the corner, but at a very high price. So it's like we destroy all the good things we have and try to bring some artificial thing, and later like we are now backtracking again, but with a high price and a cost, to say organic or something. But that they are also playing with that also now. So even in some countries they used to show like, uh, though it is organic in the field, they cannot guarantee after they pluck it if somebody uses something on it. And they don't even use the term now genetically modified. They use it like genetically engineered something, or they put like specific letters now, just like in plastics. So person has to really know what they are. So one is like organic, the other one is like, uh, it can something can happen at least along the way, and the other letter is for like they don't know. The farmer can do anything in their premises. So it's kind of like strange, and you wonder what is happening, no? And where it is going to, right? It's not for the good of humanity or all the other beings or animals or anything, no, nature, none of that. Even I saw like even fishing and all these things, like they do too much. Even like they use giant nets, and even they destroy all the coral reefs and everything. And it's mass fishery industry. And some little animals also, even baby animals, they also are captured and sometimes just crushed by the boots and everything. So it's unnecessary. And then we cannot fight nature, no? Whatever, even if we have nuclear bombs or anything, if we were the highest superpower, we cannot change the nature. Because if one flood comes, one tsunami comes, many of us are done for. We see that, no, it's happening already. So, yeah, it seems we are going too fast, and will be stranded, or it will be like a disaster. And many people, I think, they feel stranded because they cannot keep up, no? It's not healthy. It's not healthy, no? You see, many people come to our sessions and all also. At some point, they feel stranded, or they don't know where what they're running for, even. And some people are even backtracking, no, like doing a huge U-turn, and they are done with it, and they say, no, 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 we grow our own things, we be with nature, and actually homeschooling children. And they are really tired of all these things that are happening. So there are some people actually, but these were the things we already had in our societies, no, in different countries. Like you said, we had our own medicines, right? People didn't die like now. We didn't hear so much about cancer those days. But it was very rare, right? And it was like a big tragedy. It is, but now children and everybody has it. No, it's like a common disease, and which without any cure. So then, these medicines and all, they are like witchcraft, or put to people like, no, some like as if witches or some people are doing this, no. But these were the things we had actually, and we are alienated from our own things, no, in different societies. And now we have to like find and come back to those resources again, which we so numb to. Now we don't even recognize a plant, to be honest. No, like to before anybody could take, actually they say like, there isn't a single plant that you cannot take, that cannot be considered, which is not a medicine. In ancient Ayurveda practices also, the teacher would ask the students to go and find one single plant even, which is not a medicine. So they used to go, some people would get four or five, and then some, one would come even with one. I believe this is not. But actually, there was one who came without anything. He said like, I don't know which like gender, but the student said, uh, I could not find any, and teacher made him like the best student and gave him the most deepest of secrets also. But now we don't know, right? So yeah, so we are losing track, and it's kind of very dangerous for many generations to come.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and your experience and wisdom. And yeah, it is a little bit disconcerting. However, we still do have so many tools,
Mhm.
and I believe that individually we can each make a difference,
Mhm.
and we can help to shine our own lights and onto other people, and or perhaps to light their candle so they can light another person's candle, or so that they at least can have some light within themselves, so that they feel that there's hope. And I believe that there's always hope. What I would love to discuss now. So I've made a list after our discussion last week.
Okay, okay.
I made a list of some more points that we could potentially talk about when we talk about living with a generous heart. So one of the things that I have written down, and I've got another point from what you were talking about before.
Mm.
Um, so and this could also be another topic, but I feel that, and actually this is very, very relevant to our discussion tonight, because we're talking about everything going really, really fast. So I think in terms of living with a generous heart, to protect ourselves and to protect our hearts, slowing down is very beneficial. And certainly we can do that through meditation and mindfulness practices. And another way we can do that is by actively practicing patience.
Mhm.
And it can be very, very challenging, especially in today's day and age where everybody wants things to be done fast. And I find myself, I can get impatient about certain things, and I'm generally quite a patient person. So I would love to hear your thoughts about patience and how patience can help us to live with a generous heart.
Oh. So yeah, Kanti, they used to call it Kanti, eh? Kanti. Kanti is like the ancient people, they knew so much, eh? So Kanti is the opposite of Kenti. Kenti means anger. Uh, so oh, the absence of anger is Kanti. And they say like Kanti Paramantapotitika. That means like if there was some kind of recluse or some kind of practice, patience would be the best practice of all, even for like recluse or like how to say ascetic practices even. Eh? So and even like in perfections of like bodhisattvas and all, they have a special category. Their minds are so powerful. Even if somebody cut off their limbs, they would just stay. So it's not a religious thing. Eh? It's like these people are like that, and they cannot. They don't even change their mind. They just stay with this uh, how to say patience. And there are stories like that also from ancient times. And so yeah, patience in the sense like the Islam, we should not take numbness as patience. Some people become numb, no, after some incident or something happens or the course of time. Then it seems like they become numb or like they not sensitive. But this is really knowing the fact, and then the reactions and all these are like be kind of like when the things are happening in the opposite direction. All the demons and everything want to come out, but you say hold on, no? Or in a greater aspect, like with more and more wisdom, uh, what happens is we can really understand. Oh, and when mindfulness plays its role, then there's like real patience. You see it in a bigger way. Or you can just stay out of it and see. And why should I react even? No, or why would I need to? Or later you focus on the mind and say, okay, now anger arises, but I don't have to make it words or actions. Not that you're
Yeah.
afraid or something, no, but no, you are at a more higher stage than that. Not that you won't react if needed, even not in a violent way, but you can say, I don't like this, or don't do this, no, or talk to somebody who's uh, regarded to that matter. But but we don't have to like destroy ourselves, right? Yeah, so patience is a key thing. What do you think of it, Anthea?
Patience. I think it's definitely a virtue. And from the Islamic teachings that I have learned
Mhm,
from the dictators that I have um, learned from, that it's very, very important.
mhm,
Basically, they say patience and gratitude are really, really key.
mhm, mhm.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah. Mm, yeah. Thank you for sharing. So from that, I would love to talk about gratitude a little bit as well. And I think that gratitude is seems to be a bit popular at the moment. So a lot of people make lists of things that they're grateful for, perhaps a daily practice, and that's certainly something that I have done in the past, and I do. I aim to do on a daily basis.
Mhm.
And in Islam, they teach that the more grateful you are about things, the more you will receive of those particular things. So
Mhm.
it's a, a practice that brings its own benefits with it.
Mhm.
And I think it also helps us to protect our hearts, and especially if we do give a lot of energy and time and love and support to other people. I think it's really a really beneficial practice.
Mhm.
Um, and it doesn't have to be something that we write down. We don't have to write down things we're grateful for, maybe even if we're just aware of different things, and
Mhm.
give thanks for what we have. Mm. What are your thoughts about gratitude, Sanji?
Yeah, it's a necessity, like coming back to our topic, also these things are connected, interconnected, gratitude, patience, these things. And regarding generosity also, if you feel grateful, for example, maybe your parents, right? Then you want to give something back, no? Because you are grateful, no? You have great gratitude within you, or even the nature, no? So you want to give back something, or maybe your teachers, or anything, or even the world itself, no? Like Mother Nature or anything, no? So you want to give something back, no? So we can receive as well as we can even give more, right? So regarding the topic of gratitude, generosity, so gratitude, and it brings out lot of contentment. We are satisfied, no? Usually we see dissatisfaction everywhere. Even if you get the best, there's something missing there. Not the perfect color maybe, or like, oh, I and there are even people who are complaining about some diamond gemstones or something, no? Oh, I wish it was bigger, no? I saw a child crying like their parents have brought a Tesla for the child, and the child was complaining, just 16, and it was from their parents. And this child was telling like, oh, I wanted a Mercedes, no? Why did you bring me this? Really? So, there are even children who don't have like a toy car, right? And this child gets a Tesla, and then she says, no, no, I really want. She was really upset, no, with sad face and nothing at all, no, no, uh, not even okay, thank you, but I really like, not even like that, like really. And uh, yeah, gratitude wise, so we can, yeah, feel the benefits we have or the blessings we have, any way or form, right? Even the life, no, they say like, even okay, today we are alive today, every moment, even, no, that is also a great thing, because some people or some animals, no, they don't know, uh, they could be the next meal of another animal, right? And or they had to go through so many dramatic things, no, even as human beings, in war zones, no, famine areas, disaster zones, and they have to uh, they are at such a risk, they don't know what might happen in the next moment. They are always in fear of life. So just for the living, maybe we are not the most richest people, no, on earth, but surely like we live another day. Maybe we have a roof under our heads, no, over our heads, sorry, and, and then some water or food or something to eat, no. Some people don't even have that. So yeah, and then more you have, it is like so they say like to have open hands, no. So open hand, actually we came to the world also with open hands, and at some point, even if we try to keep it, maybe rigor mortis will kick in, and it will get tight. But still, after that, it softens up, no? When the bloating process and all it. So you cannot even be in rigor mortis stage for long, and then it also, that's why people, oh, look at that person looks more beautiful or smiling than, because it's like now stretching, and no, the stiffness is going, right? So even if you are like the most angriest person or the greediest person, So generosity, if we connect it back to the from the gratitude, uh, yeah, it is said like it's the opposite of greed, because greed plays a big role, no? Like in the opposite side, we can be just greedy for something little even, and we don't want even somebody to have it even, no? So as children, we can be like we're so how to say entitled, or even like so greedy for our own toys, even our pencil box or something like that. But later it becomes bigger and bigger. So I will try to take it to another direction also. So many things are connected, no? Even this is in generosity. Actually, the term goes to like letting go. So letting go. So it what you say. So it can all interconnects. So more you let go. Say I'm holding something, but it's limited, right? If you can let that go, your hands open up, which is the proper thing, and then it can receive also more, right? Huh? So it has no. And because if it's like this, even if you try to play something, it won't stay, no? So likewise, more you let go, it is like more you receive also. So this as I have seen in some organized like charity organizations and some good places, they even tell like we don't know from somewhere like it just start flowing. They started feeding some people or something. It's like they found like a spring or water spring or something, and they were not doing it on purpose even, and they could feed more and more and more and people or animals more and more. And I know one place like when we were in Myanmar, maybe I told this also, no? And it was just a hut, and now it's like a whole city. Yeah, it just, and the person in charge also, he really believes in generosity. He says like this good karma will help. So even they were like pitching, thinking of a brand new hospital. And he was telling, like, because of the good deeds we do, this is possible. And actually, it came up. Yeah, people helped and all. But uh, when you do good things, there is a way that these things start flowing. You meet the proper people, or people just want to then see that you are legit. And then they understand it and know this is no scam or something. And they really start helping. So yeah, like surely this patience and gratitude, even letting go, they play a big role, even more, many more things, no, in the topic of generosity. What do you think, Anthea?
I think that's fascinating. And an example comes to mind for me because
Mhm.
watching you over the past few months and the people that you are attracting into our network is amazing,
Mhm.
because these people are so, like, they're so resourceful and talented and kind-hearted and giving and really, really clever in so many different fields. So that's, I feel, is an example, because I feel that your intentions are very, very high, and your vision for what we can is really, really highly vibrational. So you're really attracting some amazing people. So I think that that's a great example.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, getting shy and humble. That's like, uh, what else did I want to talk about? Um, I would like to talk about something else, and it was something that I didn't make a note of after our conversation last week, but
Uh-huh.
it's come up as you were explaining about the work that you do, and that is sobriety. So,
Mhm.
protecting our hearts by, and also when you're talking before about numbness, how people can feel numb after events or perhaps grief or loss or illness even. So some people that that numbness, or they might try to numb themselves through alcohol, through recreational drugs, through being like promiscuous sex, other ways, working too much, lots and lots of things. People try and distract themselves from pain or from whatever they're wanting to distract themselves and get away from. So I think that when, in terms of caring for our hearts, if we can avoid as much of that as we can, and we can do that through self-awareness and mindfulness practices, and even acceptance meditation, and also solitude practices, I think, are really great for that, to sit with ourselves. And it is challenging. I know that through my own experience. However, it can be very beneficial because it helps us to face issues and to perhaps shine light onto issues that need to be healed. So I would love to hear your thoughts about those sorts of things as well, in terms of helping us to protect our hearts and so that we can keep them open and generous.
Yeah. So yeah, kind and firm, right? So yeah, we try to see, and we come across difficult people, difficult situations. And yesterday, actually, we had another discussion in our Bongani program, and she brought up like coping mechanisms, no? So we were talking, and yeah, exactly like what you were telling. I was like, oh, how is this done? And then she was talking about these different habitual patterns and all this. So yeah, we tend to have these things, and uh, but regarding like what how we have to protect our minds, yeah, through experience, and mindfulness plays a big huge role, uh, and intuition or gut feeling sometimes, and you know that this is not working, no, like, and even when you talk to somebody, right, or they are too demanding, or like they are no, maybe they have their own reasons, but oh, they are commanding, and you don't know why, even no, this is not your father or somebody, no. And then right, like, you just wait them, right, and okay, and then so yeah, we have to be careful, and mindfulness, and if you like do these practices or things like that, then your meters and alarms start ringing. So even your breath, even you don't have to be angry or anything, your breath starts working faster. Then you know, like inner, like, oh, something is stirring up before it even comes out, or even you don't put out a word or anything, no. But we have to use a lot of wisdom also, because some things are not legit, no. And then it puts you to through so many difficult situations also. Maybe you have to recover it or do something, or even how to say, you also are categorized as a bad person, no. So because you try to help a person, but they do something scammy or something, and then no, you also put into that category, no, without you knowing. Sometimes, no, we didn't know like this will happen, how we did know, right? And sometimes just by talking also you feel like this is bit awkward. uh, and we have to use the momentary wisdom and mindfulness also. And definitely, if you know, like even karmic factors, so or like the process that happens, so, or the energy, you can name it any way you want, but not for the negative, no. So even if you don't say utter a word, and if you feel anger or greed or something that happens, there is energy that builds through that. And at some point there's a reason, like we'll have to like in this life itself, no, sometimes we didn't do anybody any harm, but still there are some difficulties we feel face, right, in life, and you don't even know why, for what reason, even I didn't harm nobody, right. But it comes to you, no. So there should be some people give many reasons for that, but it seems like there is a tendency like what we have done before follows us, right? So if it's good, fine, but it's not only the good. So even in these conditions, like we have to be very careful, and uh, and sometimes when you are trying to help, also you get exhausted or you get burnt out because you have to handle their luggage also, right? And what they have gone through, their past traumas, all these things, and so sometimes it's dumped on you. So so then we have to be, and I remember like one ancient master said you have to be like a dustbin without the bottom part of the dustbin. So
Yeah.
how much trash it comes, it doesn't get full, no? It always flows from the below part, no? So it doesn't stick there, or it doesn't stay. But you have to be very mindful, and if we can upgrade our minds and all, that would be a big thing because we can then help more and more people. Uh, how to say, without getting our minds murky, or yeah, it's like you don't have to jump into the pit of mud to save another person, no? Or help another person, or those specific moments, right? What do you think about that, Anthea?
That's fascinating. Really, really fascinating. Yeah, really, really fascinating. Coping mechanisms and yeah, I think that it it's an amazing analogy of the dustbin with the bottom out of it.
Mm.
And that's quite amazing. And I think that it's a really high level of helping people if you can get to that level where
Mm.
you can just almost they can hand over what their traumas are to you, and then you can put it in the dustbin, and then it just goes.
Yeah.
It's recycled by Mother Nature. That's one way of
Mm.
putting it,
Uh-huh.
rather than us carrying it around with us, because that's where we can get into trouble if we can't let go of uh, other people's feelings and emotions and trauma when they have communicated it to us. So yeah, I think that's amazing. Really, really interesting. What else did I have on my list? I think we've covered most of the things.
Uh-huh.
One last thing I wanted to mention is that, and we talked about it, I can't remember, it wouldn't have been last week, maybe the week before.
Mhm.
Uh, we talked about association and people around us and having supportive people, positive people around us. And I think that that is really, really important in terms of when you have a generous heart, to surround yourself with other people who have generous hearts, and then they can help you to up they can help to uplift you, and they can also help you, just like through this discussion I feel like we are helping each other and we're helping
Mhm.
other
Sure.
people to consider how to protect our hearts, how to look after our hearts so that we can continue having a generous heart
Mhm.
and, um, contributing to humanity and Mother Nature and animals and plants. Yeah. So I I just wanted to mention that point as well. Positive support people, like-minded people, people who can guide us, perhaps who are a little bit further along the path than we are, but on the same path.
Sure.
And that's certainly what I am really benefiting from with interacting with you each week. I feel like you're really helping me along my path.
Mhm.
You're sort of putting
And
up
we both share, right? Yeah, yeah.
good, putting up some signposts, or you might be saying, Anthea, maybe this way is a good. you can go in this direction, and also very much so the people that you're attracting in the beautiful network that we have. I'm gaining insights from all of them, and considering the work that they do as well. It's really, really positive and uplifting, and I feel it's benefiting me enormously. So, have you got anything else you would like to share in terms of association?
Yeah, yeah. It says, and then sometimes in some practices, they ask you to do some good thing. After you do some good thing, they say make like a determination also. It says like until the moment of maybe even enlightenment, may I meet wholesome beings, not the unwholesome. But it doesn't happen. But at least you expect, and what you anticipate sometimes is what comes to you, right? Or what you attract, no? So they say make a determination like that, because if you do some wholesome act, that is very powerful, wholesome energy, and that can be like transmitted to a good purpose, because it's energy, right? So then, yeah, so it's like the outward people, and it says like it's specifically said, for example, from a child's point of view, or even for us, no, like the media or anything, and what we hear usually before the tablets and everything came. Or as a child, they don't know much, no, so they hear even it's animal, no, so it can be very abusive, or even a relationship, or even a family situation, or a workplace for sure. The boss always call, no? You don't know, even maybe he or she brings a family problems to there, and you don't even know, no? And come on, I just came here, no? And then like, no, you have to do, you have to finish now. You just came on like, and you don't. What is it? This person, no? And then, but it affects you, right? And then even the society or media or all these things, no, violence and everything you see on television and everything, internet and everything. So all this nonsense, even it affects, and these are things what we associate, right? Just like the people around you, even these are things. So then later it takes you to another depth of things. It says what the mental things you are associating. Are you associating with greed? Are you associating with anger, jealousy, envy, or anything kind of like negative stuff, right? Which we all carry, right? So if you are associating with that, then uh, that is you become that, right? And it's very harmful, no? It has a long thing. So it is said like just see not only the outer people, see what kind of mental we call it like uh, yeah, like mind objects, mind objects. What kind of mind objects or even mind factors do you associate more? And especially in meditation, you can see this clearly. It's like, and that is the big thing you're actually doing in life itself. So sometimes we don't even know in life, but some in meditation maybe, oh, I didn't think like this one, but now I see like this is happening. Huh? So then you realize, oh my goodness, like, but this is for yourself, but no. Sometimes if somebody else told you, we won't even believe. Like our parents who don't associate that kid, no, he's bad. Oh, like don't go there, don't do this. We think, oh, why are you try putting all these rules, no? But later, when you in meditation, you self realize, oh my god, then maybe you know, okay, they were telling the truth before. Huh? So, yeah, surely, like what you associated, you become. Huh? So we have to be very careful. And some traditions and all say if there's nobody to associate, not that we are high and mighty, like a elephant or a tusker in the forest. There are the lone ones, right? Or like a they say unicorn, eh? They say rhinoceros, but they say there was a mythic, how to say, animal as such before. Huh? So some places say it's the rhinoceros, but anyhow, it's mentioned about a powerful animal who lives by themselves, or sometimes they are sent off the pack and they come back after some time, but they have some long time, right? So likewise, if possible, just be by yourself or have some alone time to recollect and see and all these things. So then, and sometimes it's safe, and some place it's say it's better to go to the forest and just sleep without being with defilements or negatives in a city. Uh, that means don't associate them if possible. No, don't, or try to save yourself as much as possible. And yeah, I want to just before we finish, I want to take even this generosity. We told like donation or gifting, all no. So people give from material worth, even their time, energy, even uh, or their experiences, no, or their skills, and all they donate, right? And later you let go of even the things that harm you, even mentally. You let go of greed, let go of anger, let go of delusion, and that is considered actually this letting go process. Huh? Letting go, it can even take you to any higher form or place you want, uh, even like total happiness, bliss, or anything, because you let go. More we are holding, it's like grabbing hold to some rocks and wishing that we would not drown. But more you cling to the rocks, because they are rocks, right? They go down. But more, if you can let go of them, you will start floating.
Yeah.
So likewise, there's a process in the mind or in the spiritual path also. More you, and it's not a big deal because every moment nothing stays.
Oh,
With our mind, we make the ideology of there is something there, even an idea of something. Like in Alice in Wonderland, no, they talk of a person, nobody, they say, and they think nobody is a person, right? So no, so we think like that also. We think like, okay, though it's empty, there can be something within. But even if we keep something, it either melts or dissolves or eradicates after some time, just like our hand, our body, or mind, even everything outside. Huh? So, more you go deep, you understand like it's always happening. And what is the purpose of clinging on to these things? Which
yeah.
is associated with greed. So this it is a domino effect like thing. So more we let go, that doesn't mean we have to just walk onto the streets and live on the streets. Not like
No.
that. But somebody on the street can be grabbing hold to their requisites or what they have. A person in a hut can be like very greedy, or person in a mansion or super rich, they also can be. It's not that difference, right? So it is about the mind. And then or the soul, or people use different names, and more you let go, what happens is more you are free. Yeah. So but the cling, and it's so well mentioned, though we talk about male, female, genders and everything, it says just like our five fingers: physicality and four: mentality. Yeah, really. Sensation, perception, formation, consciousness. One is physicality, like our thumb, it's a main thing. Do you need the thumb? No, even if you don't have the thumb, it's very difficult to work, right? Powers and other things are mental factors. Sensation. We get really caught up with the sensations, right? Even taste and everything with the sensation, smell, everything. Yeah? And it sometimes it can be deceptive even. If you give somebody, and actually some companies have done this, if you give the scent and the taste, you can even feed them a piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
Really. It is possible, eh? And I saw even like somebody taking a sausage or something and placing it near a dog's nose, and then when it's open his mouth, puts a vegetable or something. After 3 or 4 times, it realizes and it starts like, what are you doing, no? And but like 3 times, it gets caught. So like even human beings, like uh, there are instances like they had like big, big vessels of orange juice and all. They were stale. So they got down like a perfume company to make the orange essence, uh, and the taste for surely. And So when you open the package, it gives a fragrance of fresh orange. But these were like aging old orange, which was distilled and taken or something like that. They did some process, but this was very old. So they got hired a company just to give the aroma and the taste. So when you even if you open the package, you get like, oh wow, like fresh orange. So it's very deceptive in a way. So uh, form, sensation, and perception, all what we remember. And then formation is what in a collective process that happens, and consciousness, our minds. So these five, it's like our hand, or when we are clinging. But when we realize the truth, and it's very well mentioned, form is like a some group of bubbles. When you blow to like soap, it arises, but it breaks, right? And it's not something solid. And because as long as the blowing happens, the form happens again and again. So likewise, our cells or external things, they keep, but there'll be some time when you stop the blowing, like if the breathing stops, this form would not gather again. For some time, the what was already created will burst out. But and then the sensation is mentioned as a droplet of water that falls. Huh? But it doesn't also stay. It's not in a negative aspect, just to show people the reality of things. Huh? And perception is like a mirage. So you see some, think it's water, but when you go there, it's further. And when you go there, it's further. So perception and formation, banana tree, you can chop it out, and it's a collection of fleshy bark. So, and if you chop it, people do to get the banana even. And if you try, you never can find a solid wood inside, and you can remove like layers after layers after like onion, no? So formations are like that. And consciousness, it is mentioned as a magician. So if you get to know more and more this reality, you don't have to grab hold of things and stay. That doesn't mean you just perish or anything. No, you can live your life very comfortably and freely. And even in our body, and there, when you do basic relaxations, more you let go of any excess effort, or even if possible, some tension. If you can let go, you feel relaxed because you let go of it. And it brings, as a result, it brings the relaxation there. So physically as well as mentally or externally, more we let go. This is also part of generosity, because when we are gifting somebody, we actually let go of that. Some people keep strings attached and they see, oh, what were they doing with that? Did he go to the bar? Or what was she? Is she shopping with that or something? They keep still strings attached, right? But if you can really let go, you do it and done, and you can have a lot of satisfaction with that, even with a small act of generosity. And these can be practiced in a workplace, family background, any place. You just give somebody a glass of water, maybe at home, and that can be act of kindness and generosity. So we can do so much with generosity.
We sure can.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, we have talked for more than an hour,
Oh,
so it's quite amazing. And I didn't look at my watch or clock once, so we've done exceptionally well. So
okay.
thank you so much for joining me tonight for our part two of our wonderful discussion about living with a generous heart. And thank you, everybody who watches this video in the future. And I hope it's really beneficial. And I've really had an amazing conversation and lots of things to think about. And what I did last week, I actually watched our video
Oh,
again.
really? I used to do. I used to do.
Great. up on different things. So the second time I watch it, because the first time I'm concentrating and I do pick up on things that you say, things that I share. However, I pick it up at a different level. So that's wonderful. So I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity of this conversation, this sharing platform. And I think that's probably about it. So thank you so much, Sanji.
Thank you,
Thank
Anthea.
you, Nicole. And yeah, I wish everyone lots of blessings and health and well-being. And until next time,
Thank you so much, Anthea, and thank you, everybody. And have a wonderful day and have a wonderful time.
thank you, Sanji.